my name's Mitchell and welcome to the Nourish Sunraysia kitchen, a kitchen where we're going to take you on a journey trying different flavours and tastes from around the world. So join me, if you will, as we embark on this journey together. Today I'd like to introduce our first guest on the show, and he's a dear friend of mine, so please welcome Mannfred.
Hi, how are you? Good to see you, mate.
Thank you for being here today. Yeah, so would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Mannfred. My background is I'm from Mauritius. So today we're going to cook a traditional sweet potato cake, which is normally cooked during a festival called Diwali. And it's not just only Diwali. Anytime anyone wants to have like a sweet, I think that's a perfect dish. It's very easy and it's quick done. And you don't need much ingredient. And I believe it's only 9 ingredients you need. So,
yeah. So what ingredients do we have here?
So to start with, we have this sweet potatoes, and which I already boiled some. It look like this one's boiled. But remember, when you go buying sweet potatoes, there's two types. There's one which it's not this color. You need to get this color because this one is a bit sweeter. And this one's already boiled. And I'm going to show you this one later on. So next ingredient we'll need flour, sugar, grated coconut. With this one, I already add the sugar in it and already mixed with some vanilla essence. But I'll go through this once again when I start doing the whole prep. And then we have baking powder, which is one there. And then I'll make some dedicated coconut, which I just put some green color mixed up just to give for like display, and vanilla essence. And pretty much that's all we need. We need a deep fryer. If you don't have a deep fryer, you can use a pot with canola oil preferred. The reason I'm using deep fryer is just it keeps the temperature constant. So I'm going to cook on 175 degrees. So it stops the cake to burn. And because it's got sugar, it will burn really quick. So that's the only reason I'm using a deep fryer to deep fry all this potato, what's called sweet potato cake, which we call back home Gateaux Patate, right? Which is Creole and French together, I believe.
So if someone wanted to make this at home, did you have any trouble finding the ingredients locally?
Well, that's a good question. So I was mentioning before, only this one. Sometimes we have it in the supermarket, sometimes we don't. But if you don't have it, it's not a big deal. But the only thing will be the taste will be different. Whereas this one, as mentioned before, it's sweeter than the other sweet potato we have here. Normally, I think this is, some people call it Japanese sweet potato. I'm not quite sure. But normally, you should have it in all market around Australia.
All right, so what's our first step, Mannfred?
So first step will be this one I mentioned before. It's already boiled. So when you boil this sweet potato, just wash it first because to get rid of the soil. Once start boiling, then you got the fork. You just press the fork in and see if it's going on, like not too soft, not too hard, but like a medium. Like if you can put it like this, that's, it's cooked. It's already boiled. So it's just like doing mashed potatoes. With mashed potato, we go really really soft. Whereas this one, you don't need to be that soft. As long as you can put the fork can go in, that's perfect. And once you boil it, don't leave it in the water. Pull it out from the water. Put it on a bowl or where the water can drain, and then let it cool down. And then you start peeling. Or you can peel it if it's still hot, but as long as you don't burn yourself. That's the trick with this one. And with this sweet potato, don't put it in the fridge. Leave it outside room temperature, otherwise go hard. And when you start crushing it, doesn't have the same texture. Moisture is gone already because it's already dried up. So that's the only trick we need to understand. Yeah. So once all this is boiled, the first thing you have to do when doing the sweet potato cake, first thing, put this on the stove, let it boil. Once it's boiled, pull it out, take it out from water, let the water drain, but don't put it in a cool or in the fridge, otherwise it will go hard. And if you can peel it, if it's still hot, you can't really do it. Otherwise, let it cool down a bit, peel it, leave it there, because when it's go cold, it's a bit tricky to get the skin off the sweet potato. So that's done, one part done. And then the next part, we need, if you don't have one of this at home, that's an old traditional mouli I have here, you can use a masher. But with a masher, you have to make sure that when you're crushing these sweet potatoes, this one, it's really a mash, like you're doing sweet, like mashed potato, really powdery, like, because when we're going to roll it, we're going to add the flour and start rolling it. If you still have lump there, it's not well crushed, it's not going to work. It will break. Once you put in the fry, it will just, everything will come out what you feel in that pastry. So we're going to, the way we do it, it's not cold, still warm. So I'm going to peel this one. So just grab a knife, make it easy, peel this one. So as you can see inside here, it's purple. So which I'm 100% sure that's the one, that's the right one. So when you peel this one here, if this stick, you see this doesn't matter, like just the top of the skin, the bottom of the skin, I would say. That's all done, nearly done there. All right, that's how it should look. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to just put everything in here and I'll crush it. So I'm using these ones to make it easy for me. So I just put it here. I normally hold it that way if you're strong enough, so that'll be fine. So crush all this. So I'm going to use this. Or you can use a spatula. I don't have a spatula right now, I can't see it anywhere. So I'm going to use this thing I bought from home. So as you can see, it's going really easy. You don't have to, like, really work it really hard. It's very soft already. If you can pass me a spatula, Mitch, if you got one there. Thank you. So there we go. So remember, when you're making this, make sure you have no water. It's not like no water. It should be moist like this one, because what happens when we're going, if you got water and it's hot, you try to say, okay, let's do it quickly today. But if it's hot, we put flour, it's not going to work. It's going to stick, because heat or hot water and flour, they mix really quick and get very sticky. So this one done. All right, that's done. So here we go, Mitch. That's the first step.
So this dish, is this a dish that you enjoy with your family at home?
Yeah, of course, yeah. You can involve everybody, like my missus, my kids just get involved and try to help. It's fun. It's not, you don't have to be perfect, but it's a fun thing to do at home. But we only do once a year. That's called Diwali Festival. And that's when we make it, because it's a bit messy. If you make a big batch, right now it's fine. But when you're making big batch, it goes really messy. It's flour everywhere, you got sugar. So that's why I try to keep everything a bit tidy today.
Yep.
That's how it should look. So once it's done, this is how it should look. There's no lump, you would call it. It's really like a puree, I would say. So everything's here and there. So this is done. So as you can see, if you put your hand on the bottom, it's not hot, but it's
not hot
really,
at all.
it's warm, like warm. So that's what we're looking for. Or if it's cold, it doesn't matter, as long as it's not cold, like coming out from the fridge, which won't work that much. So next step will be this one. I love this one. I love this vanilla essence. You can use like pure vanilla gem like the stick also, but I prefer this one. So what I'll do, I'll just measure with 1 and 2. Because what happens if even though I put vanilla essence, when you start cooking, it evaporates, and then you don't have that flavor, that's nice smell, vanilla smell, like coming. So that's why I'll say just put a bit extra. So what I'll just mix this one here, mixed really well, and you can smell
you can really smell the vanilla
essence. So that's done. So next step will be we'll get flour. So with the flour, you have to be very cautious how much the amount of flour you're putting in this sweet potato, I would say puree, mashed up. Because if you put too much, it's going to be hard. If you put less, it's going to be like really sticky. But I'm going to show you the trick how you can work this out and make it as like a soft dough. So the way I'll do it, I'll just get this one here and put a bit, like half a cup, I would say. And then I'll just open this for me. What I got here, it's baking powder. So what the baking powder help to rise, make it a bit fluffy. So I'll get 1 pinch. I'll just like straight 4 pinches of baking powder. I'll just shake here. Always sift the flour, because what happens sometimes the flour, as you can see, you get like small bubble lump. So it's
a very important step to sift the flour.
Sift the flour. I would advise sift the flour, and as you can see, the way it looks here, it's like really thing. Whereas if I go straight here, it's look different. So that's one done. So I'll keep this one. I'll keep going. That. So I start with my spoon here. So just try to mix this. It's a bit delicate when you start doing this, because I want to make sure everything is incorporated like well. Alright, so once you go like this, what I do, I know I'll mix most of it. So just scrape this one here, one there, keep this in here, and I'll try to work it out around it, not in the middle, stop mashing. It's going to be very sticky. So what I do, I'll just go like this, slowly, not rushing, but try to turn the roll when you're doing it. So as you can see, start coming together, but I'm not done yet. So Mitch, I'm going to ask you if you can hold this. I'll hold this, just throw some in here, like, yeah, just use a spoon or, yeah, that'll be fine, perfect. That's good. So I'm going to do one there, try to mix it up. So this one, when it's done, we can't leave it sitting around for a long time. So my advice will be, I'll show you later what I do with grated coconut. So with the grated coconut, you can get it from the supermarket. It's in the frozen section. In the freezer, you'll find grated coconut. And what I do when I buy it, I'll just leave it in the fridge, let it defrost. I'll just a bit more.
So if you find that you don't add enough flair at the beginning,
yeah,
it's okay to add during while you're...
Yeah, so all I want to, just to make it consistent, so it don't stick like now it's sticking my fingers, on my fingers, so just to work it out. And the other thing you can do, what I'll do, I'll just put this here, and I'll just, so my hand here. So as you can see, I'm just crushing, so there's no bubble. So I'll do this one here. When you start rolling and you see it's not sticking in the roll, like here you can see it's sticking. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put some flour on top here. It looks like it's a bit hard, but it's not. Once you get used to it, it will work. Believe me, I did that my first time when I was doing that. I really make it really hard. Like I put too much flour, and it didn't work. And then I learned from that time. I was okay. When I'm doing it next time, I'm going to do very slow, very easy with the flour. So as you can see, when I roll it here, it's not sticking in the bowl. So if you can use a plastic bowl, I think plastic bowl is more easy for me. But you can use a metal bowl, doesn't matter. So once this one is done, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get some flour, maybe on top. So that's first part done. So that's the main thing when you're doing the Gateaux Patate. You have to get your flour right, and when you press here, it's okay, it's soft, it's not hard. So I'm happy with that. Next step will be to make the coconut with sugar to fill up the Gateaux Patate. So I would go with this one. What we need sugar, caster sugar, white sugar. I prefer white sugar, it's better. It's a bit granular. We're going to use vanilla essence again. So I already made some. So that's how it look when you go to the supermarket to buy grated coconut. Or if you don't get it in the supermarket, I think you get from the Asian shop, Indian shop, you will get it everywhere, most of the Indian shop. So this is how it look. It's like, it's not dedicated coconut, but it's raw coconut, 100% coconut. And what I did with this one, I add sugar. I would say if you put 1 cup of coconut, you put 1.5 cup of sugar. So mix it together. I know it's heaps of sugar, but believe me, depending on your taste. If you like it really sweet, then you add 1.5 cup or 1 cup, depend on the taste. So you can taste it. You can still eat this one, like just give it a taste. If you like the sweetness, perfect, and then you can keep going.
That's the good thing about it. There's no right or wrong. You can add sugar to taste.
Up to your taste. If you say, okay, I'm someone, I'm just a bit worried about too much sugar. No, so depend. But you need to add sugar to give that sweet flavor. So add the sugar, and then the next thing, just add maybe 3 or 4 of the vanilla essence. I just use the lid, but depend once again on your flavor. So you don't really need to use vanilla essence. You can use almond essence, coconut essence, any essence you want to use. You can use. It's not specific. So it's up to the person who wants to try something different, something.
So vanilla essence is your go-to?
I would say traditionally it's vanilla essence. I always use vanilla essence, but I think I'm going to try next time with almond essence and see how it tastes. Hopefully with this, the flavor will be, of course, the flavor will be different, but like a different texture because this one, that's what I've been using all the time. I never change to different flavors. So hopefully if someone wants to try it, give us a feedback. How it tastes, that will be awesome. When you're making this, you add sugar because sugar dissolves, because this coconut have water, moisture. So once you finish making this coconut with the sugar, vanilla essence, don't leave it around for too long because otherwise it's going watery. So what will happen when it goes watery? When you make this dough, you roll it, you cut it with a cutter. So that's the cutter I'm going to use to cut the dough. When you fold it will be running and the dough will be when you put in the deep fry, it will break and will make a mess in your fryer. So I'll show you this one. So once you make this one, this is how it looks like. It's not sticky. It's really good. Smell this. You can smell the coconut. You can smell the vanilla essence. That's how I like it. So that's done. And this is a trick I use. Scraper. It's helped me because when you roll on this board, you can use. I prefer using it like this big chopping board. It's really like easy. Once you put the flour on, you start rolling, not too hard, softly. And I use the scrape. This one goes really easy. Make it work really well for me. And as a thing we'll need to make this Gateaux Patate happening, we need this rolling pin. There we go. That's the one we need. So to start with, I'm going to cut this in half. So whenever you're doing this, as you can see, it's still like moist inside. So I'm going to take the flour here, rub this on my chopping board here, and then some flour here, press it, and then leave it on here. So now I'm going to work the dough slowly. If you see it's sticky or it's too hard, so just shouldn't be hard. I would say like you making roti, it shouldn't be like it should be really soft, like a really soft dough. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to work it like this. So all I can see when I roll it, it's not sticking on my chopping board. So the trick is what I normally do, I'll just press it here, get my rolling pin, put some flour on top. So I go really slow. So the reason I'm going really not too hard, not pressing too hard, but leave the pin on and just roll it like that. Because what happens if I go press hard, it will stick on the bottom. So I don't want it to stick, so because then I can flip it around. So when you go, if you feel it sticky, sweep like that. And then what happened here, I'm going to add some more because it's still moist here. So I'm going to add some more flour, press it. So when you're making this dough, try to be not too thin on the dough, because if it got thin, very thin, you fold it, it will break, the coconut will come out. So it has to have like this 2-3 centimeters. I'll show you the size. So when you're making this, all right, so this is done. I'm not going to touch it. I'll leave it like that. And I'm going to get my cutter. And I'll just use this big cutter. I can't see the size, but I think the size will do. I'll just cut one. One you press, just twist a bit. And one more. And we'll go next one. So when I fold it like this, you can see some stick on the chopping board, but I won't worry too much. So I'll go press this one on the chopping board and go like that. So you can see still moist in there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use this coconut. Don't add too much. If you add too much, it'll be a bit hard to fold, to put all together. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to fold this like that. So when you hold it, just press it in the middle like this. And try to fold it here, and then raise my finger here and try to bring it on top. All right, press this in. You can see I'm pressing. Just press this in here like that. So once everything is pressed, so you see it's still soft. So that's done. So I like to give a bit. So like this. So once done, press like that. I'm going to use the fork, and we do this just to have like a design, I would say, like a look, like that. And then this one's done. So what I'll do, I'll just leave it here. I'll just put it on the table on the plate there. So we go next one. So, next one, it's done. Right. So I'll show you before. That's the size you want, not too thin, not too thick, like that one. As long as it's not breaking. If you make the first one, you see it's breaking. don't keep going, just bring everything together, mix it again, roll it again, make it thick enough so it doesn't break. So go again here. That's it. So once done, press it in the middle and try to use your hand, go from that side, pull it a bit. As long as you can hold it like that and turn your finger and just press this one in the middle and try to push this up like that. And then there we go. Make sure it's properly sealed, because what happens if it's not sealed properly, you put in the deep fry, it is open and you have all the coconut coming out, and believe me, when you're doing the next one, you will have coconut everywhere, and when it's burned, it won't look good, be really dark because the sugar and the coconut together. So that's done. One more. So what I'll do, so especially the corner, so I'll do this one here. Do this again. So if you see it sticking, just add some tablespoon of flour and press again. There we go. So you got the next one. But it's very delicate, so when you lift it up, make sure you go really easy. And next one here. So keep going. I'll just make a couple more, and then we start making the rest. So as you can see, I'm going to add more flour. Press it here. So once the flour is incorporated with the sweet potato, it will dry because you got flour mixed in. And then once again, just leave the pin on top. Just roll the pin, no pressure. And then there we go. The first time it always stick on the chopping board because we try to adjust some amount of flour, but once you have the flour, it's very easy. So that's done here. So we go again. One. So then we try to fold this like that. See, there's nothing is sticking on my chopping board because now the amount of flour is good. So we'll just leave it there. And you will see if I'm going to lift this up with my scraper here, it's come out easy. So this one too, easy, and it's sliding. See, this is how it should look on both sides. It's not sticky. Whereas this one, it's a bit sticky, but that's not a big deal. You can still work it out with like that. So, and then fill this. Press in the middle, hold it, turn your hand, press it like that, press it up, press it. So it's all well thick. So if it's a bit sticky, some flour. Perfect, that's done. So again. Done here. Last one. So when you're doing the first time, you feel like, oh, it's very time consuming. But once you get into speed, you do 3, 4 at a time. Then you say, okay, now we need to speed up because now we have the timing. This how we can make this happen quickly. So press again. This one. So as long when you're closing this like that, try to press on the inside so it stays, and then when you're deep frying, it's not coming out. And the trick is make sure it's all properly sealed. Here we go. It's one. And the other thing is when you using the fork, pressing, make sure you don't make a hole, otherwise it will all come out. So just be gentle, press like this, and there we go. That's all done.
So Mannfred, someone that's unfamiliar with Mauritian cooking, what would you say the main flavours are?
With this cake,
Just with Mauritian cooking in general.
with Mauritian flavor, I would say it's pretty much international. But our background is Mauritian people. Background is mostly from South India, and whole of India. I'll say, for me personally, I can make any sort of curry, Asian food, Italian food. For me, it's easy because we've been grown up with like in a multicultural cuisine, I would say. So, but for Mauritian cuisine, it's mostly South Indian curry, roti, rice, noodle, with Asian people from Japanese food also. Yeah, it's just, there's a lot. There's a lot. If I go through everything, there's a lot to learn with this. But this cake, everybody do that back home for a festival, like Diwali they call it, but you will find this everywhere during that season of festivity.
So I've had the pleasure of eating a lot of food you've cooked over the years, and I find it can be very spicy. Is spice a big ingredient in Mauritian cooking?
Not really. We like the spice, we like the kick, but depend on people palate, like how hot they want it. But I personally like medium heat. I think medium heat is reasonable. Anyone can eat, but if it's too hot, you should enjoy your food, not crying when you eat it. It's no point. So that's why when I cook do anything at home, I try to think about my kids also. Are they going to eat spicy food, medium food? But I think with the medium food, they're all right and enjoying the food. So that's my concept.
Absolutely.
When I cook food.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's our next step?
So
after
next
we've
step,
rolled?
this one we made before. So now we're going to set our deep fry 175, which is already on there. So I'm going to use deep fryer. So gently, when you leave this one, just gently leave it in there. As you can see, it's always there. This one. So that's done.
So how long do they typically need to be in there for?
So yeah, that's a good question. So when we deep fry, I need a light brown, not golden brown, but a light brown. So because sweet potato flour, we don't have much flour in the sweet potato, so we'll cook really quick. So
it's not really a number in time, it's more of a look. Looking for that golden brown.
So approximately it will take 3 to 4 minutes. If you set it at the right temperature, now it's set on 175. But when you're doing it in a pot, you have to have nice constant eyes because it's going to burn, because on the stove the temperature keep rising, whereas this one is stable. So when I put it there, I won't worry too much. So I would say 3 to 4 minutes and it's done. So because we got baking powder in the mixture, so what happened when you drop the cake in the deep fryer, after some time it will come up. So when you see your cake coming up like that, like right now, which means it's going to be soft, and the batter was the mixture, the flour, everything was perfectly mixed. So as you can see, it's getting a bit brownish now. So we'll leave it a bit longer, and then 3-4 minutes, I'll be done. So when you look at this now, so as you can see, it's getting a bit brown. And it's fluffy too, which means I'm really happy with the way it's go. We got baking powder, and it's fluffy. It will just flip around. So you have to be patient. It's like holding it. On this side, it's not brown enough, so try to make it work. There we go. All right, as you can see, this is done. That's the color I want. This color is perfect. So let it drain a bit. Get all up. That's a good thing with canola oil. I always use canola oil because it's a bit light. With vegetable oil, what I realize is it goes very thick when you lift up from the fry, whereas this one it's not. It goes dry and it's really good. So once done, this one is still hot. So we're going to place it there. As you can see, it's not oily. It's perfect, but it's going to be very hot in the middle because you got the coconut, you got sugar, especially with sugar. You have to be very careful. So just going to bring this here. And I like the twist. Some people say you eat with your eyes also. So I'll make up something with some green food coloring, dedicated coconut.
So is this just coconut and food colouring?
Yes, that's it. So I'm just going to do this. Because when we used to work, I was back home working in a hotel. So the presentation is that's a key thing in the restaurant. So that's here we go. Mauritian Gateaux Patate, which goes sweet potato cake.
Sweet potato cake.
If you want to try one, and tell me, scrub one, help yourself.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You can really taste the vanilla and coconut.
So if I grab one here, just to show you, if I cut one in the middle, this is how it looks inside. It's really, you got the sugar, it's not too much sugar, it's like amount of sugar, and you got this coconut. This will taste heaven.
Hi, Mav, thank you for joining us in the Nourish Sunraysia kitchen.
Thank you. Thank you
we
very
really
much.
appreciate having you here. And don't forget to give this a try at home. We can guarantee you're going to love it.
Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Take care. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.